While the U.S. economy is slumping, the economies of some nations are booming, among them Brazil's. So what's fueling the growth in that South American country, and can the U.S. learn anything from it? CNBC's Trish Regan has our story tonight from Sao Paulo.
Best known for its endless beaches and yearly carnival, these days Brazil is developing a new calling card: its economy. Brazil's unemployment rate now the lowest ever recorded, and its stock market up more than 600% since 2002. Weekends are busy shopping days at this market here in Sao Paulo. These consumers are riding a wave of prosperity. So while the U.S. worries about whether or not it's in a recession, this economy is growing at a rate of 5% this year.
It's very exciting. It's fun to be in business here. Not only does it feel good for those of us, say, in the investments world, but it trickles down to, to the person in the street.
One reason for the boom? High-priced commodities, global demand for everything from iron ore to copper to silver to sugarcane ethanol to oil. But there's another reason for the boom that helps consumers, because banks here are now willing to lend money to people like 24-year-old Diego Braga dos Santos. He's living the American dream in Brazil.
Every people today can buy an apartment.
Everyone can buy an apartment?
Yeah, because today is easier.
And that's because the bank is lending money?
Yeah.
It's a fundamental shift in how Brazilian banks do business.
People didn't have access to credit at all before, and now people can get not just cars or houses, but even consumer products like electronics or cell phones on credit, and that's a major change from the past.
How do you prevent a credit crisis like the one we've seen take place in the U.S. from happening in Brazil?
You prevent that from happening with good regulatory policy, and the central bank is watching very carefully to make sure that the credit extension we have in place right now doesn't end in tears.
Analysts here say Brazilian banks have learned from their own past mistakes and from the mistakes U.S. banks made in lending. Still, the road to prosperity here is a long one. 1/3 of the nation lives in severe poverty, in crime-ridden shanty towns like this, hovering in the shadows of the nation's bustling commercial cities. But in the face of these challenges, Brazilians like the Moreira family tell us, for the first time, they have hope for the future. They just bought a new car and are saving for their first home. For the Moreiras and millions of others, economic stability is becoming almost as normal as a day at the beach. Trish Regan, CNBC, Sao Paulo, Brazil.